Greater Good Radio. Connect, learn, heal, and grow.
Prince Kūhiō. So Prince Kūhiō was a full-blooded Hawaiian, given the title of Royal Prince from King Kalakaua after being hanai'd by his wife, Queen Kapi'olani. And from somebody who saw I look at her, his auntie, Queen Iliuokalani, saw her got illegally dethroned, attempted to try to fight to get her back onto the throne, got arrested and imprisoned for doing so, never achieved what he tried to achieve, went out into an exile for like a year, traveled around the world, fought in like a South African war, came back, was then asked to run for Congress, did so as a Republican, and I believe he even went up against his brother, David Kawana-Nakoa, who's running as a Democrat. I could be wrong, but I believe that's how it went. And then Prince Kūhiō eventually won. So much so where then he became a U.S. delegate for 20 years, like 10 consecutive terms. He became a proud American, came back home, and every time he came back home, he shared how proud of American he was to his other Hawaiian people. I don't know how he did that. I don't know how you could be okay with that. But at the same time, throughout this 20 years and 10 terms, he worked with Haole people, played, and this is my mindset, he played the Haole game. He understood that his people were being displaced from their land. So you could either be ku'e and stay here being Hawaiian to try to fight, knowing that how things were going weren't working, unfortunately. So he played the white man's game, and he went through the American government and created the Hawaiian Homelands, and through that to be able to get his people back on the land. So if we sit back and we just grumble, not playing the game and just expressing our anger and sitting back on the sofa watching the news, pointing our fingers, what is that going to do? Or if we can be like Prince Kūhiō and step into this world of uncomfortable, and I can only imagine how much racism he had to deal with, being to this day, the only U.S. congressman of royal descent. I just think that's fascinating. But how successful he was in doing so, some people may not agree with me, but I look at him as a person like, you're a man way before your time. How could you have done that? But because you've done that, there are so many Hawaiians today who are beneficiaries of that. We would not be where we are today if it wasn't for a Hawaiian who put himself in an uncomfortable space for the betterment of his lahui. That to me is inspirational. So that's kind of what I say is like, you can either sit back as a Hawaiian and point fingers at me or any other Hawaiian or anybody else grumbling because of what they're trying to do, or you can actually take life by its horns and you can be one to try to create change as well by actually doing something. Because sitting back and pointing fingers is only going to get you so far. But if you actually try to contribute your efforts into a greater good, how much better could you be in society, your contributions to a lahui? So I look at Prince Kūhiō as anybody wants to sit back and be lazy. Look at Prince Kūhiō. What did he do? Maybe if we learn more about our history, we can use that to inspire us to move into the future.
So if there was a kauna in that, what would it be?
Kind of play the game. That's how I look at it. And people hadn't responded to me. I don't like that analogy. I have respect for that, but that's how I look at it. And that's how Aloha Authentic is a result of that. Because, I graduated in school with a political science degree, never really did anything with it. But through that process of learning to achieve that degree, I've learned so much about the American politics and government that it's just astonishing. Like, you cannot tell me this is not a game. In a game in terms of strategy to achieve what you want to achieve. So I just feel like if we really want to keep our space in this world today as evolving as we continue to see it day by day in this world today, if we don't do anything, it's going to get lost. If we don't speak, it's going to be forgotten.
If you resonate with Greater Good Radio, please join our community at www.greatergoodradio.com, where you can get access to exclusive content and offerings. Hope to see you soon.